faces. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I had seen such riches, I could live with being poor. I'll sit down, I'll sit down, I'll sit down, sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 sympathy.
Evening. I've got my guest here tonight, Dal. Be up, man. Thanks for coming on, as always.
Yep, Thank you very much.
Always welcome.
Thank you.
We're going to have a chat about the game yesterday. We're going to have a little look forward to the game on Thursday. Then, of course, we've got to have a little word about what's going to happen on Sunday. The big one against City away, man. That's going to be an interesting game.
Oh, my gosh.
But Vic says, even Jez, glad we got the 3 points, but the football was so negative and drab. I wish we would go back to the attacking football seasons before last, but the truth is I have no faith Miguel will set us up that way. Well, that's an interesting question, mate. Very interesting question. Anyway, people, smash the likes up as you enter. Al, the casual golfer, even Jez, hope you will. Cook the spuds again. Yeah, we love it, don't we? Love it. Big up, Dow says to the chat, and we're going to get into this. Lenny, big up to you, my friend. And Arsenal fan type. Hi, mate. Hope you're well. Even how do you think of the game, mate? Well, we're going to talk about it, mate. First things first, Dow. Right. Yeah. First things first. Before the game even started, right? Yeah, I was watching it. You were watching it at silly o'clock over where you are, and I see the Arsenal goalkeeper and Porro from Spurs having a cuddle. Hello, this is the North London derby.
Right.
Back in the day, the players wouldn't even look at each other.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I just don't like that. What's it all about? It's not right.
It's all about social media, Jez. It's all about social media and putting the right image out there to make it look friendly. But much respect to the little kid that pushed this other Spurs little kid in the tunnel. It's fucking real. But it's strange, Jez. It's really strange. I mean, right. You think back to the United days with Roy Keane standing there next to Vieira. You think they'd be giving high fives and, thumbs up for selfies and shit. Yeah, it's just a new era, man. I just think that, even like you said before, I agreed with what you said on the show, I think yesterday, is that or the day before, that nobody who really feels like the event, right? What players are really there for that, right? And we named like 2 or 3 out of the whole squad that really feel the moment and live for the event, and really understand the significance of it. So I don't know. It's just I gotta put it down to social media. I don't know what it is, Jez. I don't know. Just trying to make everything look better than it is, right?
It's North London derby, man.
I know.
You've seen loads of them. I've seen loads of them. I remember the days when the players were like getting proper feisty in the tunnel. Bit like you mentioned, Man United games when we had Vieira and Keane. I don't get it. Don't the players understand what it means to the fans, right? That this is war.
Right.
This is not a get along party. It's a bloody war. But I don't know, man. It just fair play, mate. That little kid, right?
Yeah.
Fair play to him, man. That was class.
Alex out of there. I feel like even the last few derbies, they're more of kind of almost like a media spectacle, because I like here in the States before, it seems like every time there's an NLD, the NBC Sports or USA Network or TNT Sports, whatever it is, they always do like a 5-minute, episode of the history of the NLD. And then it shows, everybody cheering and laughing and joking around. It looks like, but they're really not, right? They're cheering on the team to actually, like you said, to go to war, to punish them. It's like they're not smiling and joking out there just because it makes a good press release, right? And I get tired of the old, the whole story, right? It's like they have to refresh us the whole story over and over. It's like we get it. We get it. But they're trying, at least in the media, they're trying to bring that event like it's this precipice thing, and it is, but at the same time, I think in some of the newer generation of Arsenal fans don't even really see Tottenham as that much of a rival.
No, they don't.
Right. So it's kind of like it's almost in certain aspects more perpetuated by the media now, but the real ones know, right? The real ones know what the deal is. And, I just think that it could be covered in a different way, especially here in America, because it makes it sound like, oh, it's just a rivalry in soccer, and it's just kind of takes away the whole spectacle, unfortunately. And that's just from a media standpoint of how they present it.
It's more tribal, man. It's more tribal than
right.
Because the two areas, right, Tottenham and Highbury, it's a tribal thing. And I know Lee doesn't get it. He doesn't see them as our rivals. But I mean,
sure.
In North London, they are our rivals.
Absolutely. Right.
Todd's summed it up here. Big up, Jez. Robbie from AFTV was on Talk Sport today, and he was taking Mickey out about Spurs. But it's so funny. May the 14th, he was supporting Spurs.
Yeah.
What was that?
And a lot of them were. I don't know. I mean, it's like you have to earn the trophy, meaning you have to win the games. And it was in our hands. It was in our hands the season before when we were 8 points up. Nobody was cheering on Spurs then, or, it's, I don't know. It's just, it's becoming more entertainment and content for some people than it actually is the tribal side, which we love. And we're all here because we love the tribal side of it, right? And that with this new social media era and so forth, you have, of course, YouTubers putting their opinions out, which is fine, but it's not always steeped in fact, right? They say some outrageous things and then they go back and say, well, it's my opinion. Well, yeah, but let's have, an argument about the facts of the club and where we really stand at this current time to where we were before. And a lot of those conversations, besides your channel, Lee's, and, 2 or 3 others, are actually really still perpetuating the tribalism of it, which to me is the root of football. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Just go back to that comment there, AZ. That's the Arsenal mascot took it seriously. Absolutely, man. AOC always question, Jez, did Arsenal win the league in 53? I've got, was it 54? I can't remember, man.
Oh, you would know back then.
I can't remember, man. I can't remember. One said we Gunner, we are fuming. Yep, absolutely. Hender Guna, different times, Jez. These players know each other now. Share agents and sponsors. Yeah, true. That's a very good point. That is a very good point.
Let me ask you a question, Jez. Doesn't the EPL have sort of like a players' union? Like the NBA does? Yeah. So those players know each other from the player union. And like Hendo said, from agents, friends, family. I mean, it's a small world, I think, after a while, right? You're still talking about the 1% of top footballers in the world, even if they do play for Ipswich. Right. So, I mean, that's a good comment by Hendon. Big up. It's true. The agents, and the money. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. I totally agree. I mean, it's only when we had to stop, as Ty's saying here, man. It's only when Timber and the Tottenham keeper were about to have a punch up. That was the best highlight of the game. That showed the action fight.
Timber gets it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Tottenham got it because they had 7 bookings in the first half. 6, 7.
True. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah. Yeah.
They were up for it. The Assemble says, what exactly is the system Arsenal are using? I'd love to know, mate. I'd love someone to tell me. We started last season exactly the same way. We did. You're absolutely right. We did. We started off with that stupid when we had Partey playing right back and when we had Ben White there. I don't know. What's that about? Todd says, big up everyone. I enjoyed the podcast early with Jez, Lee, Gunner, Matty, Kenny, all speaking facts. That we'd love to hear, not this PR crap. Thank you, man. Thank you for that. Right, let's get into the game then. Let's get into this game.
Sure.
It wasn't a great performance. I thought it's one of the most boring North London derbies I've ever watched, in my opinion. So I just question the whole setup of what was going on there, Dow, because it was lackluster. I mean, Tottenham were crap as well. We weren't great, you know.
Right.
We had some pretty poor players that day. I mean, I thought Partey, for me, was one of the worst players on the park. He was
I thought
shot.
he was
He
pretty.
got the ball. He lost it. Go on, mate. Go on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I agree. I thought he was pretty invincible. I mean, I thought each player had moments, right? I thought overall, collectively, each player really had their individual moments of doing something good because they didn't score. You know, we held them and so forth. But that's not the blueprint going forward. That's not going to be sustainable. I don't even think against City. And I know one of the questions I saw in there is, do we carry on with the same style for City? I'm not so sure with Rice coming back. You know, maybe he'll go back to a 4-3-3. But what I was worried about, Jez, was not even the defensive side, was that we couldn't score any goals, you know, essentially from open play. Like, I want to see the passes, you know, through the box and, you know, Saka knock it in. But Martinelli decided not to pass the ball. And we also saw Arteta just lose his freaking mind. So, you know, when we're not scoring goals from open play like that, and I don't know if set piece is really considered open play. I just consider it a set piece, a corner, right? There's not pass, and movement, put it in the goal, you know, 10 yards out inside the box. I just, you know, and when that doesn't happen, that's when I worry, because then we go back into a defensive mode. And we even saw it against Brighton when it was 1-0. We went back into a defensive mode at home.
Again.
So it's the message that Arteta's sending that, you know, maybe the good side is that we can be the attacking side and maybe a defensive side. And I think that's good to a point. But what side is he going to pick for which type of game? And would the players be able to adjust mid-game when things aren't going right at the start? Okay, where I'm going with this? If it's 1-0 Tottenham and we're in the 4-3-3 and we're just pushing, and we get hit on a counter, then what is Arteta's going to do next? Are we going to attack them, Mikel? Or are we going to go to a 4-4-2 defensive formation and just try and hit them on the counter, which to me, a 4-4-2 is not that counter-attacking. Maybe it is to some. I mean, Alex Ferguson got it down to a science, but he had Ronaldo, Nani, and Tevez and Rooney. So, I mean, you know, we can go even deeper, but the thing is that I'm not sure how Arteta is going to approach the next game. And if we go out attack, we may get destroyed. If we play too defensively, we may get destroyed. So Arteta's got a real decision to make now of, you know, how is he going to balance it? With Rice coming back, that'll be a plus. But if Odie's coming, I know he's not coming back, but if he was coming back, how much of an impact do you think he would have this game coming up?
Well, this is going to be a thing. I'm just going to go through some of these comments. It's a very good comment.
Sure, yeah. I know. I kind of went on a bit.
Big up, Don Jez. Big up, man. This comment here I thought was excellent. Vic says, during Derby week and after, I've not even talked to any Spurs colleagues. They are the enemy, as Sagner once called them, scumbags. Those tribal days are long gone.
Facts.
Good comment. Very good comment. You know, it's embarrassing, man. I mean, and this one here from Vic as well. When Udogie got a yellow, why did Mikel not instruct us to keep attacking that side? Once he got a yellow, we did not test him once after. That is a great comment. That is a great comment. Why not? You know, other teams do it to us, Dow.
Right. It's called having the competitive advantage.
Well, we've seen it when Ben White against, who was it against? The previous game, right? He picked up a yellow, and he was getting attacked. You know,
in the Brighton game.
Yeah, when Rice got sent, they were targeting him.
Yeah.
So why don't we do that then? I just answered Christopher. Jez, do you remember seeing Robbie or Julian at Highbury back in the day, as they claim? No, never. Never were they at Highbury. Let me tell you that right now. Julian is the biggest liar out there, and Robbie, I don't remember. Well, apparently they're in the North Bank. In the, let's have a think back now, 76 to 2016, I was in the North Bank, and I never remember seeing any of them, never once. But anyway, that's another story. AFC was questioned to Jez and Dow. Would you go? No, this is good. Where would you go with the 4-2-3-1 formation against Man City? Dow, I know you've been talking about this. Would you go down that road?
With Rice back, I'm not so sure. I think I'm pretty sure he's going to go with a flat 4-3-3. I know I've been asking for the 4-2-3-1 for a long time for him to do that with, Rice and Party in front of the back four, but I'm just not so sure. I think that's probably the safest option, but I don't think he's going to do that. I think since Rice is back, he's going to go back with Rice, Party, and Jorginho's. I think the midfield three he's going to use.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. But we're going to get into that Man City game, right. But I think we're going to go up there very defensive. It's going to be part of the bus time, I think, and that's going to be a massive mistake up there. But we'll talk about that in a bit. Anyway, the Spurs team, Dal, I thought they were pretty poor.
Yeah,
I thought they were poor. I mean, considering Solanke, £50 million, Johnson, right? I wasn't impressed by them at all. I really was not impressed. Big up, Mama. Not impressed at all. At all. Big up, Dusty. No, I thought they were a bloody poor team, man. Be honest.
They don't have any finishers. I don't know why he wasn't playing Son up front. Solanke is not good enough. I mean, it was the Bournemouth goals. Yeah, I mean, that was like a real purple patch for a very average player. And hey, they want to spend $65 million on average. Be my guest, but as far as I think, like Ange got the whole thing just wrong. All they did was pass the ball sideways. There was no, real, through balls that really penetrated anything. Saliba, that's why Saliba and Gabriel had such a good time. I mean, they had their couple of opportunities, but you were to expect that, right? At Spurs away, you expect they're going to have opportunities at their own place. And I thought they did right there in the first 10 minutes on the far post with Kulusevski, but David Raya was on it. But as far as their way of playing football, it's been found out. It's been found out by Newcastle. It's definitely been found out by Arteta. It's been found out by the top six. I think they've only won 4 games out of 11 or something, or 14 or something like that. And I think Luton, Sheffield, Crystal Palace, and maybe Everton are in there. I mean, this is not a good track record for them, and especially they've been bigging up this manager so much. I mean, come on, he was Melbourne Victory manager. He managed a subpar team in Japan. I know Wenger was from Japan, but at least he managed that team to success. I don't think he found any success in Japan. So you're talking about a manager who was in Japan, Australia, Scotland, and then now Tottenham. Right? I mean, so the high press will work once in a while, but it didn't work for him on Sunday, and it didn't work for him the weekend before that.
Well, so that's go on. No, sorry.
I put it on Ange. I mean, Ange sets them up, right? Ange picks the team. He knows what their conditioning is during training. This falls right square in his lap for them not to even draw the game at their own gaff. So
it's very true. As Todd says, Jez, Mr. DT name is match reaction. Do not doubt my manager again, you rats. Yeah, I saw it. He was calling people like me, you, Lee, Kenny, Matty as fake fans, but he especially does not like Lee. No, absolutely not. Look, let's put it right. Let's put it on the table, right? That guy has supported Arsenal all his life. Respect. He was the young boy that got on the pitch at the 89 at the end of the game at Anfield. So, he is a dedicated Arsenal fan. But he's an absolute prick for what he did to his ex-partner. How people still follow him, I have no idea. They must be absolute bloody lowlifes when you consider what he did to his ex-partner and everything. I mean, the man's a disgrace. I've got no time for him. He's banned from the Emirates, which is good. And why people follow him, God only knows. But there we are. AFC always, Martinelli trash, Partey trash. Our midfield was like a bagel, nothing in the middle. Yeah. And I think that's where Big Ange got it all wrong. He thought he could exploit our midfield. Well, I don't know about you, yeah, but this is it seemed to me that we were not really playing through our midfield that much, but we were playing the ball. But I get that. You know, that used to be a George Graham tactic at one point. Yeah, play the long ball. Yeah. But if you got nobody up front because they're actually sitting back defending, and you pop the long ball out, right? Who's going to get on the ball? You're just handing it back. You're handing the possession straight back to them. I mean, we started off well, but then quite quickly, within 10 minutes, we were being pushed back because they were pressing us. So I don't see that as a good tactic at all, personally.
Right.
Not at all. But, you know, big Arsenal X-Rated. Go and support Arsenal X-Rated channel. He went live last night. Good stream. Thoroughly enjoyed being on there, man. Get him to 200 subs very quickly. I think he's nearly on 100 already. 170 Gunner. Jez, who do you hate most, Arteta or Robbie? I don't hate Arteta at all. I just don't think he's good enough. I think Robbie is an absolute clown. I don't hate him. I think he's a clown. He's a liar because he was never an Arsenal fan to start with. He's Luton Town. But we'll leave that there. Vic says we could go back to 4-4-2. Old school, I know, but I want two strikers. Leicester City played 4-4-2 when they won the league. I agree. I do agree. But we ain't got no strikers, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Let me say, the strikers we got don't score goals. Yep. I mean, Jesus said he can't score goals.
Yeah. And he proved that again when he came on Sunday.
Oh, mate. Yeah. I mean, did you? I don't know if you saw it. Big typo by Sky Sports when they gave it said Sky Sports man of the match, right? Gabriel Jesus. I couldn't believe it, right? Well, they obviously.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, they meant
Gabriel. Oops.
Well, I'm hoping so, because at the end of the day, what did Jesus actually do? Nothing. You know, but anyway, Saka, mate, not a great game, was it?
No. I thought there would be something there with the Udogie, like you said. You know, he gets the yellow card. You think they get the ball out more to him, but it definitely got more to Martinelli, or they were just trying to pass it straight up through Kai Havertz. I mean, it just, you know, but at the same time, if Saka had done, you know, I mean, it was a great corner kick, but I think he's still just looking for that one opportunity, Jez, to invert and put it on his left foot. And it's too one-dimensional. It's way too one-dimensional. Like, I want his thought processes to be different than that. I want him to try to be, you know, that creative spark, right? Even though he's not so-called the creative midfielder, that doesn't really take away his job of trying to fight to put the ball in the back of the net. It seems like if the left foot thing to the far post doesn't work out, well, I'm out of ideas. And that he slowly gets himself out of the games. And I don't know if he's injured. Is he carrying a knock? But Arteta has to see this. You know, it's just like he kind of becomes like a ghost, almost like Odegaard at times. And, you know, making diagonal runs in the box is fine, but how many times have we seen it? You know, he's trying to, you know, lash it across the goal and it hits the first defender for a corner, right? Or he puts it side netting. There's just, and I know he's a young kid, and I don't want to use that excuse necessarily because he's been a professional footballer since the age of 14 practically. So I just, you know, we demand more. And I think it's up to him just to really maybe put on his leadership pants a bit. especially if you're vice captain. Yeah, I just thought it was not the best performance. You know it's not a good performance when you don't hear his name mentioned much in the game.
No, I agree, mate. I mean, Martinelli, mate, he's I don't know what's happened there with him. I don't know. He just seems to the last 18 months, he just seems to drop down a peg or two. You know, I don't know. I don't get it.
Right.
If you remember, right, you remember when Emery brought him out of the academy,
Mm-hmm.
he played him in the 9 role, yeah? And he
Right.
scored 10 goals in 12 games. 10 goals in 12 games.
It was phenomenal.
And that's what, over 5 years ago.
Right.
5 years ago.
Would you consider having if you go 4-4-2, having a striker and Saka as your right striker?
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, I think I would. I can't rely on Jesus. I'm sorry.
Right.
I just don't think he's got what is required to do that. He himself admits that he's not naturally gifted at scoring goals. Well, that's a worry if you're a striker.
Don't even say that.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, there you go. Interesting comment here from Ahmed. Jez, you must be fuming. Arsenal for the win. No, I'm very happy, my friend. So, you know, I think you're misguided, delusional, and talking absolute bollocks. But thanks for your comment. Because at the end of the day, when Arsenal win, I'm very happy, actually. I'm sure you're actually gassing it up, you know, thinking it was the greatest performance ever. So, you know, there you go. Ian says that Henning Gunas sounded about right. Nothing to boast. Yeah, right. That's a good point. We weren't allowed to wear our red home shirt, right? Because apparently the Premier League deemed there's too much white on our home shirt. Therefore, it's a potential clash with Spurs. I find that very odd when you've got the fact that Spurs are all white. We're predominantly all red with white sleeves and the whites down here.
Mm-hmm.
Red is one of the strongest colours in the rainbow.
So it is.
I mean, you don't get white in the rainbow. Yeah, so I don't get it anyway. But Ahmed's back. All that doom and gloom, all international break for that watchers. Bring on that Lee Gunner and Kenny Ken clown now. Mate, I'm sure you wouldn't ever walk up to Kenny Ken and say that to his face. Because you wouldn't have your face left.
You wouldn't have the teeth to talk and eat.
Exactly. So why don't you just fuck off, right? Nobody wants to hear your comments. Yeah, nobody's interested in you. So go. And one more comment, fella, and I'll get you blocked. Don't worry about it, all right? Because idiots like you have got no time for. You know nothing about football. You know nothing about Arsenal, so go away. Asa says, Big Angie's Aussie rules of high life, 4 life, rugby union and boomerang. Yeah, I mean, the Arsenal bench, Dow.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
You saw it. I mean, I highlighted it. Yeah, there was one point. Yeah. We brought on our 2 subs, right? And then you've got Arteta talking to AirPod Albert, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other trainer, who I can't think of his bleeding name, and AirPod Albert is like this, going, what do you want me to do? And then you got the other trainer on the bench. He's looking up at Arteta, going, I mean, if that's the story we're watching of that's the trainers, right? That's the trainers, and they're going, well, what do we do now then? That says it all, because as we were coming up to the time to make the subs, you can see Arteta's looking at the bench like that.
Right.
Who am I going to bring on then? You can see him. I'm thinking there's a kid on there, Maldini Kiwa, whatever his name is, right?
His name's Maldini?
He's a centre back, young kid. Okay. Centre back, apparently. I didn't know this. I got found out today. Terence, he's got a channel called Mr. DT. He's an absolute arsewipe. Used to go on AFTV, did some stupid nonsense, went inside for it, and the guy's an absolute plank, basically. And that's that. Mama says, always at Vic, look at took the dogs out today. Big up, Mama. Hope you're feeling better. I know you've been under the weather. And she's doing a fantastic job at Spurs. Trust the process. Yeah, what level are they in? Jez, I think we'll be talking about our defender's goalkeeper being man of the match most this season, as we have no attack. Well, that was a case not last season, the season before. When I was doing player ratings on Lee's channel, a lot of the time it was the goalkeepers and defenders getting man.
For sure. Oh, how many times did we give Ramsdale man of the match the season before last? It had to be 12 games, Jess. It had to easily have been 12 games.
What's happened Ramsdale? What's happened to him, mate?
Who cares? He's ancient memories, ancient history now. Getting pummeled by United. He talked his way all the way down to a Southampton contract. But I'm going
to see him drifting away, mate, big time.
Yeah, for sure.
SG says DT is a see you next Tuesday. All of his supporters are incels. Yeah, they are, mate. That bench, man. Dow, that bench it's we've shot ourselves in the foot. Let's be right. Apparently, Saka picked up a cramp, strain type knock situation in that game. Let's hope he's not going to be out, because if he's out, what the hell are we going to do? Good to see Nweri. Good to see him.
Yeah.
Didn't do a lot in the game, but fair play. Game was dusted anyway.
Right.
But, mate, you've got to be honest, Dow. Please, give me your... I mean, that bench, it's not good, is it?
We didn't do the job in the transfer window. We didn't do it in January, and we didn't do it this summer. And Arteta has no one else to blame. However, I think there will be some improvement when we see Calafiori and Moreno on the bench, right? Two of those names that we don't really know won't be on the bench for big games, right? So, I mean, there is some positive in that. I am very anxious to see what this Moreno guy can do and what he really brings to the squad.
Yeah.
But overall, Jez, it's the fault of Edu and Arteta not getting the right players in. But then it's like you're kind of being cruel to these kids by putting them on there just to watch. You know you're not going to play. So I guess there may be some value in that, right? Having the youngsters there in the moment, watching what's going on, maybe learning. I mean, I get all that. But at the end of the day, these are the same youngsters who we may ship off to Man United, in 3 or 4 years, right? Or less. So again, it's just a transfer window shit show. We didn't get the striker we needed. We didn't get the midfielder we all wanted. We got Moreno, but we'll see how good this guy really is, right? The jury's still out on him. So they have no one else to blame but themselves, Jez. AirPod Albert's right. What is he supposed to do? He ain't in charge of fucking recruitment, I mean, it's again, it's his own hole that he's dug. And, he will continue to do this. We've seen it over and over. The whole Raya thing, right? At first, we were like, why are we bringing this guy in? Ramsdale's been man of the match 12, 13 games of the season. Ramsdale seems to be doing fine. But lo and behold, we bring in the Golden Glove winner, right? And we bring in an incredible keeper that has made some already phenomenal saves, and we're 4 weeks in. But overall, I just think like with Saka, hey, you're injured. You're injured. Part and parcel of the game. Play Jesus there. It's real easy to figure out, Jez, right? You and I have said before, this isn't rocket science. You replace like for like or as close as you can. You try and stick with the same formation and same system. They should all know the system by now. He's been there for 5 years. So there's no excuses about not knowing the system. There's no excuses about not knowing where to be and positioning and so forth. None of the players, right? I mean, maybe the brand new ones, but who's that? Calafiori. So I don't know. I just think that Saka will be a big loss Sunday if he's injured.
Oh, mate. Oh, dear.
I mean,
we also got another game on Thursday, mate. We'll talk about that. AFC always, mate. Big up to you, man. Question, Jez. Considering you once were a referee, what were your thoughts on the referee handling out 7 yellow cards? I thought a couple of them were a little bit weak, if you want my honest opinion. I think he got a little bit card happy, stamping his authority on the game. But we do tend to see this now. Basically, the referee should be anonymous in any football game. He should be anonymous. He's there to control the game. Way too many referees, in my opinion, nowadays get too involved and they're too visible, if that's the word. But yeah, I think he got card happy. To be honest with you.
So, yeah, I kind of think that giving out the cards does control the game. Right? I mean, that's the way I kind of look at it. Yeah, but I agree, Jez. It was a little excessive, but you're going to commit the foul and get caught, you're going to do it. So I kind of like it because Brighton, he didn't have control of the game.
No.
Right? Exactly. So this guy, even though some of the calls were kind of, okay, scratch our head, we're always going to have calls that we scratch our head on. But overall, I thought the ref did a very good job and literally controlled the game, because if you don't give the yellows, then the tackles get worse and worse and worse, right? The players start challenging the line, right? So anyway, I got to say the ref did good. I'd give him a fucking 7 out of 10 or something. He literally controlled the game.
But don't forget, Dal, there's a lot of Arsenal, the big, top Arsenal channels crying that the referee was Australian because their manager is Australian,
Yeah, that's just I can't comment on that. That's like Arteta not wanting us to, what was it? Something about Rangers, wasn't it? Like 2 or 3 seasons ago, Arteta was with the Rangers, so he didn't want Celtic or something like that. I don't remember.
No, I don't
remember. Yeah, like somebody didn't want us to win because Arteta was Rangers back then. I mean, come on, give it up, conspiracy crowd.
Who is good enough, Ches? Who is good enough? Well, that's a very good question, because there's a lot of players in this team right now who are not good enough, and it's around and around and around we go. It's the same old. Yeah, that's Arsenal X-rated. Go and support him, guys. He's a top guy. Really nice guy, actually. Knows his stuff as well. AFC always. Robbie Lyle thought David Seaman. Yeah, I remember this one. Was in goal when Arsenal lost to Barcelona in the Champions League final in Paris. Yeah, what an absolute clown. And that same quiz.
Yeah.
He didn't know the year that Arsenal left Highbury.
Oops. Better check his.
Yeah. Hello.
Check his notebook.
Well, you think a guy that's actually, big Arsenal fan with the biggest Arsenal YouTube channel would know that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's all fake.
It's a joke, man. It's a joke. Yeah, I mean, the bench is not good. Let's move it on.
Sure.
We got away with it. 1-0 win. Not lovely goal. Good corner from Saka. Best corner he's taken in over a year, in my opinion. Gabriel Magalhaes, bullet header. Keeper's never going to stop that.
No.
But yeah, Son was not brilliant yesterday. He did spin Ben White a couple of times though. But,
yeah, that's to be expected. He's going to have his opportunities.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect Ben White to keep him completely silent, but he wasn't the son of, 3 or 4 years ago. But he doesn't have Harry Kane either. So I thought Ben White played really well.
Yeah, I mean, Terence, White was the liability that Spurs targeted, but Saka kept him quiet. He did.
I agree with that as well. Yep.
But I don't like the fact that we've got to actually.
I don't either.
Are attacking players back to keep Son in control. That's not.
Right.
I don't understand that.
It doesn't make it right. Like you said on your review show with Lee, there's no one to receive the ball. If you're so far back, it doesn't matter if you booted up the pitch, there's no one there you're playing right into Van der Veen's hands and Romero's hands. We can boot it up all we want defensively, or we can try and dribble out of trouble a bit. But like you said, Jez, our attacking three was too far in at times. And there was no one to retrieve the ball. And then, of course, we went to a long ball tactics towards the end. But that's what has me worried. And I think you and Lee and Kenny, etc. Where's the flair? Where's the Arsenal flair of play? Where's the real definitive style of play? Right? And again, what if he makes a bad decision one game to go defensive when we don't need to? I mean, they were, and part of it, Jez, they were really there for the taking on Sunday. Martinelli crosses the ball. It's 1-0 up in the 12th minute. And then from what I would want, I would smell blood and open up the floodgates, push Party up a bit more and go into a 4-1-4-1. Right? Change it up. Arteta, if you're the man, change it the fuck up.
I thought Party.
But instead we kept going to Martinelli, who we know is not in form. We gave Saka 20 minutes of game time, basically. The rest was just the corner kick and nothing else. And I don't even put that down to him. There was times he wasn't even getting the ball, right? It's like last season, or it was last season, we kept saying how Saka was getting the ball over and over, and Martinelli wasn't getting the ball, remember? But he also had Havertz as his midfielder for half the season.
I'm sorry.
Right? I mean,
I've got a lot of time for Partey. I think he's a decent player. I thought he was bloody awful yesterday. Most of the time he got the ball, he gave it away.
He looked lost, yeah.
I put that down to that. He didn't have Rice next to him. He had Jorginho there. Well,
right.
Jorginho, fair play, he did a job. Did a job. But the most active he got in the game was when he went up and pushed the Tottenham goalkeeper when him and Timber were having a bit of a spat. But
yep.
He could have done more. He could have done more, man. But then again, I think the guy's legs have gone personally. But
yep.
Jez, don't know if you saw this. Did you see when the ball went out for a throw-in and Madison Arteta hugged? I didn't see it, mate, and I'm glad I didn't because I'd have had a meltdown.
I think I saw it. I think I saw him kind of like.
Did you see
each other real quick? Yeah, I think so. They smiled at each other for sure.
Man,
there definitely was something there for, like always says, for that half a second.
Oh, mate. Okay,
yeah,
I don't recall seeing it, but Terence says Saka took one for the team and did the job asked for of him.
He always does. Terence, that's the point. He always does. And if he keeps playing like this, he's not going to be able to run when he's 27 years old. That's the underlining point, bro.
Yeah, Facts is, let's do some of these chats, man. They're building up a little bit. Terence says, sup, mama? And the assemble think I'm starting to think Arsenal's injuries are a bit too convenient to become so inconvenient, in my opinion. Yeah.
Well said.
View on Sport, you have a channel, Mama. Mama does have a channel. Mama, put your channel out there. It's all about her dog keeping and stuff like that. It's quite good to watch, actually. Vincenzo, big up, Mama Flossie. Hope you're doing well, darling. Almo says, question, do you think that this season will be a Man City whitewash? I have a feeling that's going to happen. Good question. They are at fantastic form. I don't feel like that's going to stop any time soon. I tend to agree. I mean, look at this. Right, 9 goals Haaland scored in 4 games.
It's insane. Yeah, I agree. I don't even see it. I like who's going to beat them. That's the question, right? I mean, draws happen, right? But who's going to come out and really beat them? No one. We're not ready for that. I don't think we're ready for Sunday, to be honest.
No.
But we don't have the players, the mentality, and the manager. When you add all those 3 things up, it means you're not winning the title. City are clear of all 3. They have, and not even that. The 4th one is the fan base, right? Is completely 1,000% behind Pep Guardiola. The whole fan base is behind him. And we are a fractured fan base. And we know that translates to the players. Of course, through social media of all fucking things, right? We don't have, and I'm not going to blame the owners because I think we all know the money's there. We just don't have the right manager in place to get us over the line. He's a very good coach. I will give him that. He's getting better at his subs, but Arteta is not the one to take us over the line. As long as Pep's at City, Arteta will always be second or third place.
Yep.
That's how I feel about it.
That is the question, because I see today, when I was on Lee's show earlier on, today have actually started looking into the Man City 115 whatever today.
115, yeah.
I see it it's actually on the news today, and so that's kicking off. That'll be interesting. We'll see what happens there. The Assemble says Jez Martinelli is looking like Pepe all of a sudden. Yeah.
Oh no,
man. I mean, what Pepe? I like Pepe, and he just went to rat shit. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, I like Pepe too, but yeah, you got to be able to dribble by a guy. That kind of helps.
Yeah,
but he had some. I mean, what about I remember. I think it was it FA Cup semifinal or something where he scored a goal against Chelsea. Jez, if you remember that one, he just lashed into the net with his left foot. Do you remember that goal? It's been a while now, but there was a goal he scored and I know it was against Chelsea. That was just phenomenal. Phenomenal. I think Pepe scored some great goals. The free kick against West Ham. If he doesn't score a free kick, we lose. So,
and also in Europa League, he scored 2 free kicks.
Yeah, I think a 4-4-2 with a good striker on the left and Pepe, the right striker. He was always in the box at the right time. Right? Like his dribbling needed help. He needed some work on the wing. He was a very raw talent, way too much money, but he was a demon in the box, bro. A demon in the box, I thought. I always thought there was something there.
Yeah, I liked him when we bought him. But hey, it didn't work out. Wonder why. A lot of players, man, have not worked out under Arteta. That makes me question why, man. Get the likes up, people. Smash them flipping likes. It does help the channel. AFC always at Hen Goonie. Yeah, I did. To me, that pissed me off when you're in. Yeah, we're talking about the tunnel thing. Yeah, Raya and Poro. Yeah, having a little kiss and a cuddle. Man, I just don't see it, man. Richard, big up, Jess. Respect to your channel. Great result yesterday. However, I'm dreading our makeshift midfield versus City. We're going to come into that right now. Right, let's talk very quickly, Dal.
Sure.
Thursday night, Atlanta. I beg your pardon. Not Atlanta. That's over in the United States. It's not going to be an easy day out, is it?
No, but I don't think it's going to be as difficult as we probably think it will be. I saw someone in the chat said they've given up literally like 9 goals in like 3 games or something like that. That defense can be got at, but it depends on the lineup. I don't expect to see Saliba and Gabriel together, Jez. He has to play Kiwior at some time, right? Kiwior comes from Serie A. Maybe there's something there, but it's going to be on Arteta to move the chess pieces around, right? Like for like. If I see Thomas Partey at right back, we've shit the bed. Atlanta 2-0, right? But if I see 4-2-3-1 like we saw yesterday, maybe with Nwari in there, maybe with Lewis Skelly thrown in there and Kiwior, I wouldn't mind seeing Zinchenko, but I don't want to see those players in the Prem, right? At Atlanta, I think we can deal with them. I'm pretty confident. I think I even said like 3-0. I think maybe at Atlanta will help us kick us into gear for Sunday. Or we get 3 injuries and we're completely fucked. I mean, but it's up to Arteta to play the kids. He has to play the kids. You have to rotate the squad. There's so many games. As you know, the chat, we're going to be playing 65, 70 plus games this season. You have to play some of the bench kids, the bench warmers or whatever, right? So I think some kids get a run out and some don't. And Wari should start for Saka on the right side. Saka, if he's injured or not, should not be playing in this game. Obviously, with City coming up Sunday. So I want to see major changes, to be honest, Jez. Major changes in the lineup.
Well, it's going to be an interesting game, man. Vic says Kenny is like 6 foot wide across. He'd crush these moves with his thumb. Yeah, he's a big man.
Kenny's a semi-professional boxer, isn't he?
Yeah, he used to be. Yeah.
So,
I wouldn't get a punch of him.
I didn't say a word.
Terence says you can see why Jez got boxed in the face by one 60-year-old. It was actually two, mate, and there was 17 and 20. So you can stick that up your ass.
Who the fuck said that?
Huh?
Who said that?
Terence Tibbs, this little wanker here. You know what I'm saying?
You're a prick, bro. Like, for real? Really?
It wasn't me that I was bothered about. It was actually the wife. But there you go. Appalling attitude. I've got an attitude.
Bro.
Don't worry about them. Mama says that Hendon's favourite is the Volt. You're talking about your father, who, my wife's father flew Lancasters. He flew in the Pathfinders 617. He didn't play. He didn't fly with the Dam Busters, though. I'll tell you that right. And 31 likes and subscribe if you haven't already. Smash them up, people. Big up. Mike Green, big up Mike, big up Jez, Newport fan here. And yeah, I know you are, mate. Yeah, that's my second team, Newport County. We got 4-0 sat. I have high standards for my club like you. Big up, man. Yeah, big up, my friend. I used to go, I think I've told you, Mike, I used to go to Somerton Park, the original Newport County ground. Back in the day, it was like a scene from On the Buses. Not sure I missed something there, but yeah, it's going to be a tough night out. I mean, we've got to, but down. I've seen people saying, "Oh, we can throw this game away, Atalanta. We can throw it away. Don't matter. We'll get it another day. We'll get it another day."
Right. And that's not what I'm saying. And shout out to our man Hendon's disagreeing with me. Like, no kids. And of course, the backside of that is we get spanked 3-0, right? But my point is, I think that we really have to rotate the squad because we're talking about, again, 65, 70 games, guys. I just feel like he has no other choice. And there's no way that Odegaard, right, and Saka, and even Martinelli and Trossard, and even Jesus are going to go through all that, right? I mean, if you're going to mix it up, you got to play Jesus for Havertz. You know, you got to find a solution for Saka. You can play Trossard at left, and then, you know, if Rice is back, does Trossard even play Sunday? I don't know. These are the decisions, Hendo, that Arteta has to make. Right, I just don't feel like playing the full squad in this first Atalanta game. Remember, the format of the Champions League is a bit different. We have more games, so losing this one, it'd fucking be terrible. But at the same time, you know, I think I would rather drop some points than just go get killed at City. And not to say we won't get killed at City, or that we will. But I don't know. But I'm on both sides of the coin with you, Hendon. I don't believe either one is going to just run away with it. But I know Atalanta's been giving up points, and I feel pretty confident, especially after the North London derby. If he plays the right lineup, we can go in there and get something.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean it's going to be. We're going to move on to the Man City game. Terence, the bench for Trossard, Sterling, Jesus, Calafiori, and not Goof enough. Mate, you want to learn a spell. But Calafiori is injured. Jesus is a waste of space. Sterling, we yet to see what he's going to do. And Trossard is an impact player. So what are you saying? What are you saying, man? Mama says, you would love my dad, Hendon Gooner. He can talk planes for hours. He has built models of all the warplanes. Tell you what, Hendon, you live right. I mean, I'm guessing I've been to RAF Hendon many a time. It's a fantastic day out. Matthew says, I think you did okay at the weekend. Defence did good. Just think both teams lacked discipline.
True.
Yeah, it was a bit shabby. It was a bit shabby, but hey. Tom says, what level did you referee at, Jez? I was a Class 1A eventually. The highest level I got to was the United Combinations League when I used to do reserve teams, such as West Ham. Never did Arsenal. Not allowed, because obviously you had to declare your team. So
should have lied to him, Jez. United. Should have lied to him. United.
Southampton a few times. I did Portsmouth, Brighton reserves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go.
Cool.
Never did an FA Cup proper, but I did get up to doing the FA Cup 4th round qualifying a few times. That was always good fun. SG question: did you think Arteta's overcoaching has made Saka one-dimensional? Before that, Saka was taking on the fullbacks. Yeah, good point. Good point. Tom, not answering that question, mate. That is not allowed. Terence Tibbs, lol. Tom, read that back to yourself. What you talking about? Anyway, mate. Let's talk about the game on Sunday, mate. Man City away, 4:30. Yeah. It's going to be an interesting game.
Right.
I think it's gonna be a part of the bus day, personally, because I cannot see us really attacking too well. Rice will be back. That is a bonus, of course. We need that. Hopefully Saka will be there and we can then push it a bit. But we have let's not lie to ourselves. Odegaard ain't going to be there.
Right.
And that's an interesting point, Dal.
Mm-hmm.
A week ago today, he got crocked. Right, he had an MRI and a CT scan on his leg, and nobody's told us how long is he going to be out.
Right.
What was this? A big secret? Is it? I mean, to me, I think he's going to be out for a long time. If you want my honest opinion, but the thing is, this bunch of frauds don't want to tell us because they know they've stuffed themselves because they didn't do the business in the transfer window.
Yep.
And they don't want the fans to have a meltdown. It's going to be a tough game. We all know that going to the Etihad.
Mm-hmm.
So give me your breakdown of how you see it going, mate.
I think you're absolutely right. We're going to go into a defensive mode. I think he goes back to the 4-3-3, to be honest, because I think that's the root formation that the whole system's kind of built around, whatever system that is, right? But I think with the addition of Rice, we will have a little more opportunity to go forward, hopefully, if he plays on the left. I just don't see where the weaknesses are, Jez, to be honest. Like, I just don't like hitting him on the counter. Is that going to work? It really kind of didn't work for us Sunday, right? Is, going all out attack going to work? Well, of course not, because we'll get burned at the halfway line eventually by Holland, even though I think Salim and Gabriel obviously have a pretty good record against Holland, but that the past doesn't always predict the future, right? I mean, just one small error and he's already through. So it's just going to be one of those games again, Jez, where it's all about the team that makes the mistakes first.
Yeah.
Right. Whoever makes the first mistake will get punished. But I have a tendency to think that we will be that team. And I think we will make a few mistakes. I really think they're going to beat us fucking like 3-0, Jez, to be honest. And it may, I see Holland maybe even not even getting maybe just one goal, right? They have other weapons, right? I think Kevin De Bruyne loves playing against us. We still haven't found out a solution for him, right? If he gets away from Rice and Partey, he's going to blast one in at 20 yards outside the box. Phil Foden, I think, is back. We haven't seen what Savio can do really yet against us. So that could be a whole nother problem for whoever our left back is, if it's Timber or Zinni, And I think he goes with Zinni, to be honest. I think he goes with what he's comfortable in the experience. Maybe Zinni's still injured. I'm not sure, but I would want Timber there because I think Timber can do something against Savio. But from what I've seen, that kid is very, very good. Better than Saka, right? Just doesn't have the clout yet or the experience behind or the goals yet, but it'll come. But yeah, I think the real issues are going to be their attacking and us just kind of how we absorb that and counterattack. If we go out on attack, we're going to get destroyed, and it's not going to be by a through ball to Holland past Saliba or Gabriel. It's going to be on the wings. Someone's going to get in front of Ben White. Someone's going to probably get in front of Zinni or Timber. And it's not going to be, I don't think, overly difficult for him to do that. Again, if we put 10 men behind the ball, it's going to be hard for them, but it's not impossible. I don't see us winning.
Yeah, I mean, that's out of interest, actually, Dal. Mm-hmm. Who was your man of the match at the Spurs Arsenal game?
Gabriel.
You went Gabriel, yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
I actually went Timber myself.
He was my second. He was a 9.5 for me. I gave Gabriel a 10 out of 10.
I thought Gabriel was bang on. Great goal.
Fucking phenomenal yesterday. Yeah.
And
the goal, right? The goal just added to the points, right? I mean, I would have given him an 8 or 9 anyway, because he was clearing everything out in the last 10 minutes. I mean, they did not get a sniff, and he was just inside of his foot, just popping them up outside the box and heading them out and pushing players around, and that's what we needed. And I think Gabriel gets it. And there's times where I think Gabriel is even better than Saliba.
I agree. I mean,
in some games,
he does have his little silly moments, but
sure.
A good question here from Graham. Arsenal probably aren't in a position to win the league, but can take the cup seriously. Right. You can beat City in a one-off game, concentrate on a long European run, silverware is required. Now, that's a good question, Graham.
Yeah.
I guarantee you Arteta will bin the cups. He'll bin the cups because it'll be interesting to see, right, next week when we got Bolton Wanderers at home, who we should pummel.
We should pummel them, yeah, 4 or 5-0 minimum.
There was a question actually that Mish asked. Jez, do you think Arteta should rotate the team for the Atalanta game? I think he might have to, because we've got a big game coming up at the weekend. If we're going to stay in contention, right, then we're going to have to. But who with, Dow? Who with?
That's the problem. Like who? Right. I mean, as much as Atalanta may not be at our level, which we're mostly not on our real level anyway. So I don't know who to expect. I know Hendon disagrees on this, but I just don't want to see Saka out there. Like, I mean, if he's injured, of course I don't want to see him out there, but this is the opportunity to give him a rest and play Nwari in the right. Okay, maybe I thought Sterling was going to come in for Saka, right? Maybe we'll see Sterling on the right, Martinelli on the left. But at the same time, do I want to risk that for Sunday? I mean, if God forbid, we know Martinelli's not in form, but if he gets injured, then we're really fucked because we have no one to bring off the bench. Literally, no one to bring off the bench. Then, so I think we play. I think we do play a second-rate team against Atalanta, and we go in there for the 1-0 smash and grab. That's what I think we do, and we save our top players for Sunday. I mean, I don't see any other choice because the game we have many CL games to play. We have a lot of Champions League games to play. This new format, I think there's we're in a table of 20 other teams, right? So the whole format's different. The schedule's different. I mean, I haven't gotten my head completely wrapped around it. I don't know about you, Jez, but I still am kind of bewildered how this is all going to work, right? So you got to have the expectation that also the Champions League games now are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We play a Thursday, we're turning around playing again on Sunday. So like you said, Jez, he may have no choice but to play some of the kids or the second-rate players. Jesus may have to start.
Yeah, it could be. I tend to agree with you, man. It depends which way Arteta wants to play this, right? Because he's either going to. I'm a realist, right? I don't dream about this. I've seen it way too many times in football.
Yeah, same here.
We can't compete with this squad on the Champions League and the Premier League front. We can't do it. So it depends which way he wants to jump. Personally, I think we should be concentrating on the Premier League. We haven't got the squad to win the Champions League. We haven't got it.
No. Not when you took like Madrid, Inter, Bayern Munich, and so forth. No way.
And then we got to get through to the next, and we got to be up against Bayern Munich, all that. We got PSG as well.
Barcelona.
So
PSG is going to be very difficult.
Yeah,
PSG is going to be fucking tough, man. They look almost some points. They look better without Mbappe. I don't believe I'm saying that, but it's true. They look more of like a team than just a one-man show.
Yeah, I mean, and then if we do get through this first 8 games, qualify, right? We know we're going to hit the big boys: Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. Well, we know what happens with Bayern Munich. But I'll just do some of these chats, man. Mike said, we have to do a collab. Yeah, mate, Mike, anytime, man. Anytime.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about Newport County. No problem at all. Mama says, sorry I was away. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, well done, Mama. Idiots in the chat sometimes. Graham says, starting 11 on Thursday. Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Jorginho, Rice, Trossard, Havertz, Sterling. Full team.
Graham, really?
Full team.
I want to see Kiwior in there. I think you rest Gabriel or Saliba and put in Kiwior. I've got to disagree with that, Graham. I don't think we need a full team to beat them, in my honest opinion. I really don't think we do.
I mean, don't think
I could be proven wrong.
we're playing, right? We're playing, right? For the next couple of weeks, a team every 3 days.
Yeah.
That's a big ask with this.
That's why we're all so angry that we did not do the business in the transfer window. And it's I would have been happy with another, a decent, experienced midfielder. If they're not ready to pull the trigger on $100 million striker, I kind of get that, in a way. I mean, as much as it's not my money, it's not your money. I mean, it's the club's money, but I just think that you and I have been following this club for so long. We've got together, it's over like almost 90 years, right? We know they're not going to buy $100 million striker. They're just not going to do that.
No, we know that. I mean,
right. Yeah. So this hype about getting the striker and that the striker is going to save us anyway, or that this phantom striker is going to come in and get 30 goals a season. That striker's long gone. His name was Luis Suarez and Kun Aguero. Right? I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, Haaland is the striker of strikers right now in any league. He walks in. If Madrid could do it over again, I'll bet you they would take Haaland over Mbappe.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
absolutely.
There just isn't any name out there, Jez, that I know, or maybe, shout out Strasbourg Steve. Maybe he knows. There's players I think will fit in. There's players you think will fit in. But at the end of the day, you never know what you're getting with a striker, right? Either they turn out really good or they're Eddie and Kedia.
Well, Mike says as a neutral, he reckons it's going to be City 2, Arsenal 1. I mean, I honestly think it's going to be a very bad day out for Arsenal, to be honest with you. With the way what we've got in our team right now, there's a lot of players that are not performing, and I think it could be. I'm not happy about it. Lone Star says defensive masterclass yesterday. Atalanta are in for it.
I love his enthusiasm, Lone Star. It's an OG.
Yeah.
Hey, right. We have the ability to beat them 4-5-0. We know, Jez. We know we have the ability. But does Arteta have the notes to play the right side to do that?
True. Absolutely, man. As Ian says, we will be back in January and they will use him as the January signing because they're not bringing in anybody in come January. Yeah, we know that. Jez, what's your thoughts on the new Champions League setup? I think it's quite good, actually, because I'll tell you for why. Right, you get a week of Champions League, a week of Europa League, and then you've got your games filling in between that. I think it's quite a decent setup, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
There'll be more games.
Lone Star Londoner up the Arsenal. Yeah, big up the Arsenal, man. Let's do these chats, man. Hendon will be more effective in their attacking play. City will not be as impotent as Spurs. Oh, absolutely. Totally agree with that. Apparently, Saka had cramp at the end of the NLD. Okay. Let's hope we cannot afford. We cannot afford any injuries on Thursday night. No chance. Yeah, I don't think you there, Hendon. Play Sterling. Yeah, put Sterling on, man. Graham says 2 extra Champions League, 2 extra Champions League games in the league stage. Yeah, that's it. Right. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. Arteta will put the kids out against Bolton in the following week for the Carrier Bag Cup match. I can see that. Question: didn't Martinelli score one of his best goals against Newcastle from the right-hand side when ESR got injured and he never got back into the team again? If my memory, I can't remember that, mate. You're probably right. Mama will tell you. Big up, DJ. Jezza and Urigan. Big up, man. Hope you're well. Mama says to DJ. Hendon yes, at the assembled. Mike Green. Do you have a way to contact? Do you have a way to contact you, mate? Don't have Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Can't remember what the bloody hell it is, but you can find me. Mama will tell you. Yes, Mama's a legend at these things. Vincenzo, I think Sterling and Rice start on Thursday. Well, Rice will start, that is for sure. We know that.
He needs to, yeah.
Anyway, Dal, give me your prediction Thursday night. Give me your
away Atlanta. You got me saying it now, Jess. Away at Atlanta. Oh, that's all right. I've said it a million times that way. Away at Atlanta, something like that. Yeah, very tricky. I think we're going to beat them 3-1. I think that we're going to ride the wave of confidence from yesterday, which I'm always into the X factor stuff, right? I'm always believe that a win perpetuates another win, which perpetuates another win. I truly believe that in football. But yeah, I got to say 3-1. I do think it would give the odd goal because I don't think he plays the same lineup that we did against Spurs, and I don't think we play the same defensive style we played against Spurs, which will leave us open, which, maybe we'll give up a pen or a free kick or something, because Atalanta are really no mugs. They have an incredible coach, and I think it's Gasparini is how you say his last name. Yeah, old school professor, coach of the game, who will do his research, who will look at the NLD and look at how we played, and maybe we'll expect that, maybe he won't. We can't tell what the guy thinks, but we know one thing: he will have them prepared. And so it's going to be on to Arteta to find the right lineup that works. And let's go out there and just, like Lone Star says, just play him off the pitch, up the Arsenal. But 3-1 is what I'm thinking, Jez.
I'm led to believe that people that know better than me, that it's quite a difficult place to go and play.
Right.
I don't know. I don't watch all this football that other people do. Steve Strasburg has told me that it's quite a difficult place to go. Right. So big up. Yeah. So we'll see that one. Yeah, Mike, that's it, mate, on Facebook. There it is. Contact me on there, my friend, and we'll get in touch and we'll do a collab. No problem at all, man. As I say, Newport County, my second team. There you go. I was searching on how much Musuma Dembele costs for Spurs. They paid 15 mil from Fulham in 2012. Imagine if we had him in our midfield. Yeah, back in the day, I'm not sure now. But right, give me your view. Give me your score for Sunday.
Sunday, fortunately, I got to go 3-0 City.
Yeah, I'm thinking exactly the same as you, mate. Actually, I think it's going to be a difficult game.
I as much as Saliba and Gabriel can contain Holland, I don't know, but our defense is really good. Yeah, it really is. I mean, I can't lie about that. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, if we keep Holland silent, there's a good chance it's 1-1, 0-0. You know, I mean,
yeah, I can't
it's
see
so hard to tell. But yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0. I'm gonna agree with our man Hendon and go 2-0. 3-0 is a bit extreme. I don't see us letting in 3 goals, no matter where we're at, to be honest. Except if it's Bournemouth or Luton. But anyway, no, I think 2-0 is a fair score. I don't think we'll be able to get our offense going well enough to score an open play. If we do score, it'll be a pen, maybe a free kick, something outside the box that bounces off Diaz's face, hopefully, and goes in the goal. But other than that, Jez, I think it's pretty wide open. 2-0 win for City.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if he gets on it, man, Haaland, we're in trouble. I think our midfield's just not going to be on it enough, I'm afraid. With Rodri there, De Bruyne, Foden, yeah, it's going to be a tricky day out. Vincenzo says, Jez, do you think we are very short in midfield? Yeah, we are, man. We are very short.
Yeah, the KDB factor and the Rodri factor. Rodri hasn't even barely touched the ball. I don't think he's played until this game. I literally think he's been held out in the last. Did he play last week? I know the first 3 games of the season, Rodri hasn't played.
Yeah. Asa says Rodri and De Bruyne will destroy Arsenal. Yeah, I can see it, man. It's going to be a tricky day. It's going to be a tricky day. Lone Star says we defend like the Alamo.
The Alamo.
I've been there. I've been to the Alamo.
Nice. Can I sing a little jingle for you, Jez? The
Sorry?
stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
I gotta get going, Jez. Enough singing.
I drove. We drove across Texas.
Did you? Oh, that's like a day drive.
Oh,
it's like literally a 12-hour, 16-hour drive.
Well, we actually stopped in places. We went to Austin, and stayed there, and then for a couple of days. So it took us about 5 days because we were stopping off in places, which was great. It's brilliant, lovely. Too hot for me though. Too hot for me.
No.
Yeah. When you're in the car, it's all right because you've got the air conditioning.
Right. If you step out there, you get that Texas heat, boy.
Woohoo! That's where I bought my Stevie Ray Vaughan hat.
Nice.
In Austin, Texas.
Texas Flood, everybody, look it up.
Yeah, mate, what a song that is, man. Henry Guna says, love the positivity, Lone Star. I do. I love it. Love to hear it. You guys are positive about it. KDB is going to run circles around that midfield. Yeah, we could get cooked, man. We could get cooked, but got to be positive. Got to be positive. It is what it is, man. Yep. Okay, we're gonna call it. Doubt, as always, man. Yeah. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
No, always, man. You're always welcome. You know that. And go across, everybody. Go across and support Oregon Doubt and also the American Idiot Show. TJ Warren.
Yep.
Great show, man. Great show. Thoroughly enjoyed it the other night, by the way.
Yep, we'll have you on soon, probably the next week or two. So be prepared.
Love it, man. Absolutely love it. Yeah, I did, man. I did, Lone Star. I loved Austin. It was
great
brilliant.
City.
Absolutely went round some of the places where one of my heroes of guitar, Steve Ray Vaughan, played. Yeah, I mean, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Talking to people. Brilliant. I mean, that was years ago now. So that's 25 years ago. But
there's Austin City Limits, one of the greatest live musical televised
venues
in the world. Yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan played at the Austin City Limits many times.
Yeah. I mean, I loved it. I mean, I'm big into the blues. Nice. Chicago blues as well. What do you think of Los Angeles? Yeah, I've been there a few times. Not
That's a big question.
not overly keen, to be honest. Be honest with you, wasn't that impressed. But yeah, San Francisco I like.
That's fair.
My favourite place. I mean, I've been to Boston, New York, Chicago, San Francisco, Washington. My favourite place in the United States is Boston. Absolutely love it. Love it.
I have never been there, but I hear it's a beautiful city.
Oh, it's fantastic. Loved it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's. We were there for 6 days. It's brilliant, man.
I see that a lot. Yeah.
It was brilliant. But Dow, you're an absolute legend. Thank you, man.
How are you, buddy?
Yeah, Lone Star SRV's legend around these here parts. Yep. One of my favourite ever guitarists ever. But we're going to do the outro, people. Thanks everyone for joining. And we'll catch you soon. I'll be doing a watch long on Thursday night, Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. I'm doing the weekly chat show, and I'll be getting some guests on there as well. I think Matty's joining that one if he can. So yeah, it's all good. And Dow, as always, thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
We're out, man. We're out.
Good times.
Take care, all. Take care.
Bye, people.